And here we are back again. Walter Simpkins, he's been on the show before. Did you happen to see the film Hidden Figures?
Yes, I did.
Wasn't that an amazing
Wonderful.
film?
Yes.
Just amazing.
Right.
I was just like mesmerized by
They
the
should
film.
call it hidden history.
Oh, well, absolutely.
Okay.
Because, of course, you like history.
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
He likes history. He's involved with the Juneteenth program and also does a lot with Vale Cemetery. But he does something that is so important in our community, and it's called Community Fathers, Inc. And he uses the phrase, building a community one father at a time. Well, how important is it to get men to accept, that how important they are to the family?
Well, I think that men realize it, but not until recently have they had the opportunity to really become active participants in the lives of their children. There's been a change that has gone down where fathers are now, they were just the providers.
Yeah, they went off to work.
Yeah, right. And they didn't have a lot of contact with the family emotionally. But now that has changed. And
because it's permissible.
Yes. Well, actually, because of the fact that there's something going on, like you'll see more fathers pushing carriages.
I love that.
And at the playgrounds than you ever did before.
Well, because there was a stigma to that. Oh, can't be very manly because he's pushing the baby around, or he's got the baby in front.
Yes.
Listen, my grandson, he's got a new baby, and that baby is in every picture with him.
Yes.
He's got it on his front. He's got it everywhere. That's so important.
Yes, it is. And not only that, too, the ability to make more and more fathers realize that. And not only to realize it, but to understand that they're significant players and what is going to go down later on in a child's life.
And the bonding.
Yes, because sometimes, and especially in the urban communities, the fathers were put in situations where they were not allowed to really have connections with their children because of the way the social service systems worked. And there was a time where if a mother was accepting any kind of social services,
the husband could
not be around, and they would come in and check for drawers and closets to make sure there was no man involved. But what has happened is we have found
they need both.
Yes. See, we thought that the big problem was fatherlessness, when actually it was the fathers were there, but it was a matter of getting them into the lives of their children.
So they could not really provide for their kids, or how?
Well, they could provide, but because of the way sometimes things work, economically, they were not able to have the money to really do what a lot of times fathers were expected to do.
I see.
Because of stigmas on who got jobs, where they got the jobs at, how they work. That's why so many fathers were in construction work or service industries, because of the society's blockage on certain fathers.
But that's changing, I hope.
Well, it is changing, but I think it's because the world is changing. And because the world is changing, everything now is moving to another level. And that's why fathers are starting to say, we can do this. If you go down to the county family courts, you'll see a whole another thing going on now. Family courts used to be very father unfriendly. If you had to go to court, you knew you were a loser. Not anymore.
Oh, that's so sad.
Not anymore, especially in Schenectady Family Court, because there was a situation where we had judges that were very father unfriendly, and until at one point, one of the judges had to be taken up on charges, and the only thing they would have done was remove the judge from the bench because they put a sanction on the judge. So that kind of
But at least it was recognized and it was acted upon.
Yes. Well, this is when we realized as fathers we could make a difference, that we weren't at the mercy of a judge who saw us not as fathers but maybe as abusers or addicts or criminals or whatever they had in their mind that they thought they were looking at. So it created a whole nother situation.
They were painting with the broad brush.
Yes, very broad brush, and a brush that really created a stigma for fathers. And so in that, we had to start to change that conversation so that we could show that we were very involved And so that's what we did. And we just started as a support group to do that. And so as that support group, we realized that as people came to the support group, they needed services, and there were no services for fathers. So that's when we began to build the program and start to service people and go to courts with them, or go to the jails, or go to the drug programs, and get these fathers to understand they had an importance in life.
Yeah, well, when they feel as that they don't have that importance in life, it makes them go in a different direction. It's like they're trying to find solace somewhere else.
Yes. Well, this is what happens when fathers are not in the lives of their children.
Right.
And the statistics show educationally, the rate of teenage pregnancies, all of these things are affected by a father not being there. But what happens is we've come up with a concept that we call it, what's the biggest problem, especially because of poverty, we call it love scarcity. And when you live in poverty,
love
everything
that.
is scarce.
Yeah.
Okay? People don't have time. People don't. That's why
They're working two jobs.
Yeah, and your language becomes different. You know, when people say, well, people have to be patient and they have to wait. When you live in poverty, you know the word wait means never.
Never.
Okay?
Yeah.
So therefore, you start to look at the world a certain way. And so therefore, how it affects not only you growing up, but when you start to have relationships, when you start to go out in the world, and even you being able to love your own children.
Yeah.
So those are the things that we have found. And because of it, we've tried to put in programs that address that. And we've been really, coming up with stuff as we see that people need different things.
Are you getting good support from?
Oh, yes. And in fact, we won the 2018 Fathers Program of the Year by the Fathers and Families Coalition of America. So
that's an amazing.
Right, we're doing some things, and it's right out of the community.
I know. I have to just say who's coming up next week, and then we're
Yes,
coming right
go
back
right
to you,
ahead.
Walter. Next week we have Care Patrol coming on, and that has to do with selecting senior care. We're talking about creative money conversations. That's going to be an amazing thing. We have a Schenectady Community Ministries. They do some wonderful stuff in our community. We're going to be talking about travel with Richard Loveridge, and we'll be talking with the Waterford Historical Museum. But right now we're talking with Walter Simpkins. He's with the Community Fathers Incorporated. And to get a national award like that, that's an amazing thing.
Yes.
So you've been doing this how long?
Actually, we got incorporated in 2009. And so we have been slowly but surely building the program so that we could provide services to bring fathers to the forefront.
You've been on 10 years then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'll tell you, we're on a grassroots budget, but we have fathers that step up to the plate that are willing to run programs and provide services for us.
So you're getting them involved.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, this is what the whole program is for, is to bring fathers into the lives of their children and children into the lives of their fathers.
And also getting them involved as mentors
Yes.
as well.
Yes. And in fact, we've been working on developing a retired fathers corps.
Oh, that's
So
great.
there's fathers that are retired
Yeah.
that can work with younger fathers, because now we have a young fathers program, because those are for fathers under 21,
That's
because
great.
they have different needs.
Well, you've been watching Schenectady Today in and around the Capital Region. Thank you for watching. We're talking right now with Walter Simpkins, and we're going out with that. So thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
for
being on this
asking
show.
me to be here.
You're doing such wonderful work.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
It's very tough.
Yes.
It's very tough. I was just wondering, are you getting any other organizations to work with you?
Oh, yes. We collaborate with
Yeah, I'm
so
taking
many
over.
organizations.
Just you and me talking now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just you and me
Yeah,
talking.
yeah. Oh, yeah. We collaborate.